Hey everybody, so I am going to jump on here and just talk about a few things that have been running across my timeline. A lot of it's just pure craziness, such as Dr. Cheyenne Lyant and the Stormy Wellington and all the frauds that they've been running on the masses. But then there are a few stories that have just caught my attention in terms of Little Samaj in, I want to say, Louisville, Kentucky. And then there's another story about Sweetie, who is facing a $3 million lawsuit. So let's just talk about it. First up is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, or should I just say Cheyenne Bryant? Because according to reports, she doesn't have the credentials to be called a doctor. So she did an interview on the Joe Budden podcast that I'm about to put up right now. And on that interview, she said, "You only need a license for billing. So therefore, I do not practice under a license." Now, I am no attorney and I am far from a legal expert. However, I want to say I do not believe that the purpose of a license is just for billing, because I know a lot of people with a license who do not take insurance. So that's a complete lie. I'm gonna just go ahead and I should just go ahead and play it before I start talking, but it's on my mind. She said that you need a license just for billing, and that's not true. The truth of the matter is, a license is so that the public will know that you have what it takes, the competency to perform the duties that you say you could perform. And also, there is a backing in case things go wrong. So people who hold a license are accountable to all sorts of boards. They're accountable to the law as well. And also, they are required to have insurance in order to operate. I mean, all people who serve the public have to have insurance. So whenever she said this, as soon as she said it, I was taken aback because I know this is not the truth. So I'm going to just go ahead and play it, and then I'm going to add more commentary afterwards.
And so I no longer practice under a license.
And why
Right now, I'm
wouldn't
in
you?
private
You're
practice.
making all the money now.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what people don't understand, right? So just to educate some folks a little bit, a license is really only needed so you can bill insurance. And let me go a step further. Majority of people who know that in order to bill insurance as a therapist or a physician or a psychologist, psychiatrist, you have to diagnose.
Okay.
Most people don't want to have a diagnosis on their record. So what do they rather do? Pay out of pocket.
That's what I
And
do.
so when I realized that, I thought, well, okay, it may create.
Y'all hear how crazy that sounds? And that also sounds pretty fraudulent. Like, I know there's people who go to the doctor and they want certain prescriptions or they want certain excuses. They want something from like a professional stating, I'm entitled to have a dog, or I'm entitled to work time off of work, or even to get some sort of assistance. They seek out these doctors who would basically write out anything. And this is what it sounds like. Like she just go along with the flow, because if someone is exhibiting symptoms of a disease, why not tell them? Why not put that on their record so that they can get the appropriate help? Because one of the things that doctors are accountable for is if you run into a patient and that patient has a disease or exhibiting symptoms of a disease, you have a duty to make a record of that. Because if that person goes to another doctor or suffers some sort of incident that's unrelated, that doctor that's treating that person needs to know of any pre-existing conditions. Like people who have certain mental disorders cannot take certain medicines. They cannot consume alcohol, especially if they have an addictive personality. They really cannot take certain medications. So this does not sound legitimate. It doesn't sound safe. I know that much. Well, whenever she made this stupid statement, she also went on The Breakfast Club. And on The Breakfast Club, they were sort of putting her feet to the fire a little bit. So they asked her to explain the situation behind her credentials, behind the title doctor. Do you have a PhD? Have you done clinicals? Do you have what it takes to be a psychology expert like you claim? So I'm gonna go ahead and play that clip. I'm gonna pull it up right quick. So this is her on The Breakfast Club.
About your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online. How are you responding to that in this new era of your life?
I'm going to clear it up once on here. I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up for my doc squad, for my fan base, for my audience who deserve to hear me address it. For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit. Because I don't give a fuck about it. Now, to my doc squad, my fan base, my folks, my village, it's very simple. I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh. Well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Why I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid. You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university, at this institute. So do you want us to refund you? Or do you want us not? I said no, because I didn't want to risk the chance of them saying, well, we're going to give you back your money, and it wipes out your entire program. Luckily, I had, I do this with all of the schools. I had downloaded from the actual student portal my transcripts at that time. And I was able to get just about all of my transcripts, including up to like dissertation. But everything else, there's just no holding take for any of our records, which I think is completely effed up. Just in
They
general.
are going to kill you.
Okay, so I want to take this a little bit step by step. One, if you completed a doctorate, you get a paper copy of your degree. So where's that paper copy, girl? Matter of fact, whenever you complete a semester of school, they give you a report card. Then on top of that, you can get your transcripts at any time. I completed college 12, 15, it's been a minute, y'all. It's been longer than 10 years, I know that much. I mean, I'm almost 40. It's been a while. So even at my age, I can still get my transcripts. They still have it. I still remember my student number from when I actually attended college so many years ago. So whenever she says, well, they only kept it for 2 years, I don't think there's any sector of business where the period of retainment is as short as 2 years. I want to say even whenever like you sell real estate, I think you must keep the record for like 7 years. Accounting is another one, like 5 years, 7 years. Law is another one. So whenever she said they only keep it for 2 years, it's like, girl, no business on earth keeps records for as short as 2 years. Like most projects on a grand scale is longer than 2 years. So paperwork must stick around for a very long time. That whole story she told me about that 2 years, I don't believe it. And I know for a fact, because I looked it up, Argosy University uses a service called Parchment. And Parchment specifies that all academic records are permanent. And I also know that there's a slew of people online on Instagram, Threads, Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. They have put up examples of them retrieving their stuff from Parchment when they attended Argosy University. So, girl, what are you talking about? Because I know for a fact that you cannot sit there and tell me, that some university told you over the phone that they do not have your academic records. Even if that school shut down, they still gonna keep that stuff longer than 2 years, girl. Like, hell, I think I still got records from over 2 years ago. I still got receipts of stuff I bought 2 years ago. Not all the stuff I bought 2 years ago, y'all. I'm not a hoarder. But still. So whenever they say, I don't believe this. I just don't. The truth of the matter is, this lady noticed that if you go on these people podcasts and you speak with conviction and you wear the tight dresses, you wear the heels, you come with your hair done, you have what do you call it, like a spicy tongue, and you look good on camera, especially you being, I mean, let's just be real, you light skinned with, I'm guessing like light eyes or something like that. Even though she's an older woman, she's still very, very, very attractive. That's how she got started. She sort of reminds me of there was another one on the other side of YouTube. I want to say she's Armenian, or I want to say she's Middle Eastern. She called her Sadia. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. But she was another one. She got up in front of the masses, talking all kinds of craziness. But it sounded good to the men because she looked good. But come to find out, this lady is a nobody. She ain't got no education. She just knew what to say, when to say it, and how to say it, and look good while saying it. That's the same thing with Miss Bryant. Now, I ain't mad at her. Get your coins. I ain't mad at you. But the only thing I am disappointed about is the fact that you lied. Don't lie. That's it. Like, if somebody says, hey, do you have a license? Are you Dr. Bryant? Do you have a PhD? I would respect her a lot more if in that moment she would say, no, I do not have a PhD. I don't have a PhD from an accredited university, but I got a PhD in life. I call myself doctor because I think I've got an undergrad, a master's, and a doctoral from the School of Hard Knocks. Because there's a lot of people who call themselves doctor, and they ain't never stepped foot in the school. They just have a degree from School of Hard Knocks, and people respect it. The thing is that it's the deceit, it's the dishonesty. Like, just own it. Own it with your chest. Like, you can't be a woman on this platform giving all kinds of reads, telling people how you feel and rolling your neck and speaking all out the side of your mouth, getting people together, quote unquote, and then you out here lying. You look worse than the people that you was trying to correct, in my opinion. So whenever you say, I tried to get my degrees, but I couldn't, it's like, come on. Like, I'm not offended by the cussing like a lot of people was.
Online.
Oh, Lord. Look. So I'm not offended by the cussing, the not even the callous persona. I am just disappointed that she didn't own it. Like, you came forward telling people to own their situation, own their story, own their faults, and you can't own yours. Like, I don't know. I just think that after a certain age, this type of behavior is more indicative of a personality problem or personality disorder or some sort of, now I'm not a mental health expert when I say this, but there's something about Miss Bryant that does not allow her to see reality for what it is. She's in her own alternate universe. Because at this age, you should not be lying about things that are super verifiable. You shouldn't be lying about it. And I think that that's the most disappointing thing about her. Because people can verify everything that you say. But you're lying about the things that people can verify. People could look on the internet and see whether or not you have a license. People could go on the internet and see whether or not you truly graduated. That is so stupid. But I don't know. Let her deal with this. But all I'm going to say is I hope she doesn't face any legal actions behind this because I'm pretty sure there are people out there who are looking to use her services under the guise that she has the qualifications to do the job and she doesn't. So next topic of discussion is the influencer Ashley Janae Robinson. Now, this is a story that had made headlines back in earlier this month in May, or I want to say in April. Yes, in April, because she passed away April 9th. So if you don't know who this is, her name is Ashley Janae Robinson, and she was a beautiful 31-year-old Instagram influencer and model who went on a vacation with her then fiance Joe McCann. And while on vacation in Tanzania, she tragically and unfortunately passed away. Now, according to official reports from the Tanzania government, Ashley Janae Robinson succumbed to injuries that were self-inflicted. However, there has been a lot of controversy online stating that a lot of what's been reported doesn't make sense and that things need to be investigated further. So the story sort of goes like this. She's in Tanzania with Joe McCann. Her and this gentleman get engaged. They go to a second resort on an island or like an archipelago off of Tanzania called Zanzibar. And while in Zanzibar, the couple get into a fight. They get separated into different villas. And while they were in different villas, it's reported that Ashley Janae Robinson took a belt and hung herself. And whenever the hotel staff went to go and check on her, they found her hanging with a belt. They cut her down, they render aid, they transport her to a hospital. But unfortunately, the damage was done and she succumbed to her injuries. Now, as soon as the tragic incident took place, Joe McCann was very silent. The only people that were vocal were Ashley's family, her mother and her father, and her step-parents, and also her friend, who is the one who actually was the catalyst for this story. She was the one who posted on X that justice is needed for her friend Ashley Janae Robinson. And of course, she begins to tell the story about how her friend, quote unquote, hurt herself while on vacation and passed away. Now, the friend, I'm not sure who she is or where she comes from or how long she's known Janae or Ashley Janae, but she's also sparked a lot of suspicion around Joe McCann. Now, Joe McCann was very silent at the start of all of this. He didn't make any public announcements. His family didn't say anything. There was just Ashley's family speaking, her friend, and no one else. But now he has broken his silence, and he made a post on his X account where he writes this message to his to Ashley. Now, a lot of people do not think that Joe McCann is innocent. However, I am one of the few people who think he is. And I've already made a video about this, about how I have come to the conclusion that the reports that the Tanzania officials put out is true. Because, I mean, if anybody knows anything about self-inflicted harm, there's usually never any warning signs. The family is usually blindsided by what the person does. So this whole story about her doing this to herself while on vacation did not shock me, because I know people who have done this to themselves while on vacation. Matter of fact, I know people who had a child on Wednesday and turned themselves in to the pearly gates on Thursday. I know people who have done that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read the message that Joe McCann put on his X account relating to Ashley Janae Robinson. And based upon what I read, you can draw your own conclusion. It's just that I have my own opinions about what he did or what he wrote. So, let me see. Bam. There it goes. He wrote, "There are no adequate words to describe the total devastation, emptiness, and shock I feel after losing my best friend, confidant, and fiance, Ashley Janae Robinson. As a father myself, I am also heartbroken for Ashley's parents, Yolanda Andres and Harry Robinson. Ashley's death is an incomprehensible tragedy. Devoted fans knew Ashley through her charismatic online persona, Ashley. But the person I loved was Ashley, a woman who embodied the virtues of compassion, empathy, kindness, generosity, and love. A nurturing presence, Ashley cared deeply for the people closest to her, which to my eternal gratitude included me. She fattened me up with her amazing cooking and had a great relationship with my kids. Each day, we shared both quiet moments of reflection and the many joys of being in love with each other. Ashley was a loving soul, so much so that she called herself a lover gal, as a homage to her Trinidadian roots, in which she took great pride. What Ashley desired most was to become a mother and to raise a family together. There is no question that she would have been an amazing mom. Ashley's talents extended well beyond her online persona, Ashley Janae. She was a creative genius, even writing, directing, and acting in her own short film. She was an incredible decorator, always ensuring our home reflected the current holiday or season. Hosting was second nature to her, going above and beyond for the guests that we entertained. Ashley also had an encyclopedic knowledge of music, especially her favorite band, Aerosmith. She enjoyed techno and dancing, was learning to DJ, and could rap too. Ashley was an angel who shined her light on everyone fortunate enough to be in her presence. There is no way to fill the unfillable void left by Ashley's passing, and no way to make sense of this unfathomable loss. All we can do is carry on Ashley's legacy of helping other people and strive to live up to her virtues every single day. Ashley, I love you forever, Joe." Oh, I think that's a beautiful note. There's nothing in that. I'm sorry. There's nothing in this message that says he's crazy. Nothing. Like I can show you some notes left by some crazy men. Even when they try to hide the fact that they're crazy, you can still tell they're crazy. This does not sound like a man that's off his rocker like that. This sounds like a man that's truly blindsided by what happened. Now, I know that her family has finally gotten her body and laid her to rest, and they didn't want anything to do with Joe McCann. And I can understand that. Like, you still have a lot of questions. And until you have a certain or a airtight reason and proof of how she passed, yes, I was side-eyed everybody. So I don't blame her parents for not inviting Joe to her passing or her homegoing ceremony. However, I do not like whenever people get on the news or the air or the internet and they make these claims that could ruin someone's life. Because it was her friend that put it out there that, she hurt herself, but she doesn't believe it because her friend never showed signs that she could ever do that to herself. And like I said, you will never see it coming. A lot of times you will never see it coming. Unless you have like a trained eye, you will not see it coming. But because her friend put that out there, this man's life probably has turned upside down. No telling the connections that he have lost, the relationships that are now strained. I mean, on top of being heartbroken about losing someone you love. That's the issue that I have with these people. You can't point fingers at people all because of you feel a certain way. Because once those autopsy reports come back and they say, hey, there's no way that this can be a homicide. This is a solo act, a self-inflicted act. What you gonna do? Are you gonna get on the news and apologize to this man? Are you going to post the results online so that this man's name can be cleared? I don't think they will. This man is probably going to suffer a very long time. And there's certain damages that you just can't undo. And that's not right. That's my opinion about this. Now, I know there's a lot of people who just feel that, she's such a victim. And to be honest with you, I'm going to say it carefully. Everybody don't want to hurt black women. Everybody don't want to hurt us. Sometimes we take this victim trope a little bit too far. And this is one of those instances. It's too far, it's premature, and it's hurtful. Because this man also has kids. Kids that are younger than Ashley. So, I'm not in agreement with how this is playing out. Because I just know I know how it feels to have people lie on you. And because they lie on you, your reputation is damaged. And not just that they lie on you, is they don't want to correct their lies in public because of the shame it will bring to them. So you have to just live with the damage that they caused. I know exactly how this feels. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, because it's not right. So next story I'm going to cover is, this is cringe. Tasha K. So Tasha K, as we all know, spread some lies about Cardi B. And after she did that, Cardi B went ahead and sued her. She won the lawsuit. The judge ordered Tasha K to pay her $4 million. Tasha K does not have $4 million. She may have like $4 million, but she doesn't have $4 million to give. I'm going to say that. Well, she tried many tactics, including filing for bankruptcy. And during one bankruptcy proceeding, they had a agreement drawn up between Tasha K and Cardi B. So according to the agreement, Tasha K is not to say anything about Cardi B. She can't say anything about Cardi B, her kids, her man, her life, her career, nobody related to Cardi B, in association with Cardi B, none of that. She cannot talk about Cardi B directly or indirectly. So, given that, Tasha K just ignored court orders. She did a bunch of posts and deletes about Cardi B. She talked about her man, Stephon Diggs. She talked about Offset. She talked about a lot of people in association with Cardi B. So Cardi said, you know what? Since you want to ignore court orders, ignore the agreement that I was so nicely agreed to, because I didn't go after the whole $4 million after the agreement. The agreement was for I want to say 1.2 or 1.5. And then, of course, with the gag stipulations where she couldn't talk about her. But instead of abiding by that, Tasha K just kept talking about the lady. My thing is, if somebody sued me for $4 million, but then they were nice enough to take it down to 1.5 and, me just stop talking about them, I wouldn't say anything about her. I mean, hell, I'll even change my platform a little bit. I'll involve more political news just to not talk about her or anyone who can be in association with her. But Tasha K, I'm thinking it's ego. It has to be ego, because I don't think she's this dumb. Even though she only has a 9th grade education, I don't think she's this dumb. Well, needless to say, Tasha K kept talking about her, so Cardi B reignited the original lawsuit of give me my $4 million, as she should. One of the things I can't stand about Tasha K, because I used to love Tasha K back in the day. I used to love the fact that here you have this regular, dark-skinned chick, and she has this personality that drawed in a lot of people to the point where she's over 1 million subscribers. She has hundreds of thousands on Instagram. She has her own private platform. And, she's doing very well as a hood Wendy Williams, so to speak. Well, until she did this. Like, I get that everybody messes up. I do. And sometimes, whenever you mess up, sometimes you just got to recheck yourself. Like, okay, I got beside myself. My bad. I'm sorry. I won't do this no more. And if she would have simply done that the first time around, I'm like, okay, why not just do that? Like, if she would have done that, she could have saved herself a lot of headache. But instead, she let her ego take over and she kept that video up. And word on the curb, she kept that video up because her husband, that Nigerian man who she says loves her so much, I don't know that, I forgot that man's name. It's funny. It's like shit or something like that. I think he's Nigerian. That's all I know. And he's the one who told her to keep it up. I don't know where this man come from. I don't know if they on a K-1 visa or what. And she said that he's a computer guy. I don't think he's a computer guy. I think he came up on her. I mean, let's just be real. He did. I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it. Like, this man does not love her. Because one of the things that I know of a man who loves a woman is if the public is coming for her, he will stand up for her and take a lot of those bullets. He ain't done nothing. I mean, this man has barely shown his face since this lawsuit. I mean, it's so stupid. I'm going to go ahead and just play the reaction that Tasha K had to her lawsuit because the reaction is just cringe. I mean, you're not going to find it on YouTube now because I think she edited it out. But it's on Instagram. It's out there. I'm going to go ahead and play that reaction because it's so cringe. And you're going to see how it looks when someone is getting ready to crack. Because that's what I see when I look at Tasha K.
Today in court, man. I swear to God. He's a good bankruptcy attorney, I promise. But I was like, Chad, listen to me. You don't know what you up against, bro. Listen. It's best you just go in and nod, okay? You don't say shit. You just nod, yes or no. Don't say nothing. Chad came out of court today for 3 hours and got his ass towed out the front. And I'm just looking at him. He's like, man. I said, what happened, Chase? You got fined. I said, who got fined? You did. I was like, God. Then he said, we did. I said, wait a minute, we. Hold up. We both got fined? He said, yeah, I got to pay 10% of your attorney fees. I said, what? Apparently, it was a shit show today in court. Nobody was prepared. It is what it is. Okay, I said, Chad, listen, I'm used to losing. Okay? I'm used to losing. But I always overcome. Okay? What's the solution, brother? Hey, brother, stay with me. Chad was done. Chad was done.
Chad ain't the only one that's done. You done too, Tasha. In case you didn't know, you done too, baby. Because there's nothing funny. You should not be laughing this hard while talking about this. Like, if you can't talk about this without crying, then put a post on X. Like, write something. Don't do this ever again, girl. Don't do this no more. Because this seems like you laughing to keep from crying. It's kind of like one of those things that I've seen people who suffered a lot of trauma in their life and they don't like to express emotions of vulnerability, like crying. And that's what I'm picking up from Tasha. Like, she laughs a lot to keep from crying. Tasha, if you got on this screen and cried, there's not one person who will not understand why you crying. If I owed somebody $4 million, that's a reason to cry tears. Okay? So, and that's not me being shady. I'm not being shady when I say that. That is a legitimate reason to cry. Like, nobody will make fun of you for crying about owing $4 million. But this here, nothing's funny, girl. Like, this is just cringe. I understand you took it down. Good on you. You should have did that the first time with that Cardi B video. But I understand you edited this part out, your live that you did on May 9th. But it's out there. And we gonna look at it. And this don't look good, baby. It don't.
For the couch, Chad went in there trying to fight that motion. I said, Chad, bro, like, listen to me. He was like, this is going to be a PR nightmare. I said, what are you talking about? I said, Chad, have you seen my brand? It's a PR nightmare. Are you see? But for my firm, it's going to be a PR. I said, Chad, breathe. Breathe, Chad. We've survived. Like, what I got on? So I got something on? Okay. We have survived the hardest part, okay? This is just merely a bump in the road. We'll do, what did Judge say? Just say you can't talk about people. You can't talk about them. You can't do that. Take it down. Okay. And even my content was on it. My logo was on it. Take it down. I said, okay, Chad, I'll take it down. I'll take it down. No problem. How much we owe? I don't know. We owe on Monday, but just the order's going to go in. I was like, oh my God. Oh, I feel sorry for him. He's such a good guy. He really is. He really is. I said, Chad, listen to me.
Chad is not a good guy. He is not a good attorney. Chad got you fined, baby. You fined. You owe more money than what you originally owed. And your attorney did that. You didn't do that. Your attorney did that. Girl, what the hell you find him? Take him back to law school, you know. I mean, if my attorney got me fined, I will not be up here laughing. I'll be pissed. I'm just saying. But this whole reaction, Tasha, girl, I mean, where is shit and all this? Whatever his name is, your husband, where is he? Because in my opinion, he's responsible for this. Because he's the one who told you to keep the video up. Where is that man? Why isn't he taking some of these bullets for you? I mean, hell, never mind. I got it. I see why he don't take none. He'll be deported. Never mind. Carry on.
This has been my life for 9 years. 9 years, okay? At this point, it's like it's a part of the business. Businesses have issues that we have to sort out. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes they're not. That's just the nature of the business. In the nature of the business that I'm in, I do get a lot of bad, and I also get an exceptional amount of good, okay? So yes, if you hear, we lost. We lost. We lost the war. We lost the war. But you know what I have? My dignity. See you today in court, man.
Tasha says she still got her dignity. That's to be debated. I think that her dignity, her bank account, all that's going in the same direction, and that's away from her. Now, I'm going to say this about Tasha K and this whole situation, and it's just true tea. And I understand that this is probably going to be a hard pill to swallow, but it has to be said. Anyways, people like Tasha K, people who want to come up, it's women like this. Damn it. You can tell women like Tasha K is not used to having any type of power. And this is coming from a woman who looks like Tasha K. When we not used to having any type of power, any type of influence, because I can tell you Tasha K is not influential in her everyday life. And we just got to keep it 100. Like, she's a very ordinary black woman, aesthetically. Anytime you got a woman like this, who's not influential, who's not like the standard or above par, and you give women like this, women like me, women like her, a great amount of influence, you don't know how to handle it. And I think that's what happened to Tasha K. She has this influence that she never had before. She got women looking up to her, women that want to be like her. She's also married, and you know how people put a premium on married black women in general, but especially married black women, because there's only like 20% of us that are married. So now you got this woman who's married, who's a part of the 20%. She's influential, she's popular, she's rich. She's on top of the world. Or yeah, she's on top of the world in her world. Like, she's the highest she's ever been. And that went to her head. It did. Because usually whenever you have people who are used to influence, who are used to people looking up to them, like beautiful women, if you tell them not to say something, to take something down, they'll usually abide by it. But Tasha K, she just didn't do it. And it also is like, it's not only she's not used to the influence, or her head is big. Usually when women who are dark-skinned and not aesthetically beautiful say something, people dismiss it. People don't put a lot of merit to it. So that's also why she says a lot of things that could be hurtful. And she's used to people not paying attention to her. But now that she does have influence and people are paying attention to her and her words have some weight, she's messing up a lot. And that's just how I feel about it. I understand it's not nice to say, but it's the truth. But anyways, I guess I'll move forward with my next story. So next story I'm going to talk about is Stefon Diggs' side piece / shelf / living, fun girl. Anyways, well, she sued or is claiming Stefon Diggs assaulted her. I, for one, don't believe her. The moment I heard this girl speak, I don't know what it is, but I didn't believe not one word, not one letter that fell out of her mouth. Like, girl, y'all should hear this testimony, because this lady sounds like she's cuckoo. Like, if I was Stefon, I would never let someone this crazy come live with me. This girl don't sound like it sounds like she used to take meds and she stopped taking them because she felt that she was doing better on her own. That's what it sounds like. But anyways, I am going to go ahead and play this clip from the Shade Room. Listen to how crazy this lady is. You can also tell that she's a manipulator, because whenever she gets in this courtroom and she starts answering questions the way she wants to answer them, which is not how it's going to go in the courtroom, by the way, the judge basically has to school her and tell her, look, when this lady asks you a question, answer it the way she tell you to answer it. That means if it's a yes or a no, answer yes or no. Don't answer yes, no, maybe, and how so. Just yes or no. So this lady got on the stand, gave a testimony that Stefon Diggs assaulted her, that he didn't pay her, and that he also tried to get her to shut up about the whole ordeal, so to speak. But this is her line of answers to the questions that she was asked. And this tells me a lot about who she is, and also about Stefon too, because I don't know, you couldn't have been thinking, or you were really blind to let someone like this move into your house.
Good afternoon, again, ladies and gentlemen.
3 weeks ago, your lawyer demanded $5.5 million from Mr. Diggs, didn't he?
Mr. Diggs offered me $100,000 to recant my statement.
That is a yes.
That is the
Your Honor,
only.
Maybe be heard at sidebar, please.
Objection moved and right. The last part of the witness's answer, the last part of the witness's response will be stricken as non-responsive. You will disregard it and you will not consider it during your deliberations.
Three weeks ago, your lawyer demanded $5.5 million from Mr.
The assault the Commonwealth just described in their opening statement in only a few sentences. It never happened. Did not happen. There was no strangulation. There was no assault. There was no incident on December 2nd or any other day. There were 6 people in Mr. Diggs' home on December 2nd, and not one heard or saw anything out of the ordinary. The Commonwealth has no physical evidence. There are no medical records. There are no photos or videos showing any injuries. There are videos showing no injuries at all. Pay attention to where those came from. On December 16th, as the Commonwealth just said, Ms. Adams went to the police. Good afternoon again, ladies and gentlemen.
How would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated.
Girl, this relationship is not complicated. Matter of fact, it's very simple. You were a live-in piece of booty who could cook or who can boil a hot dog or two. That's all this was. You could tell this... oh, damn it. You just know that she's just empty-headed. I can't stand an old, dumb woman. Because this girl is not no young chicken. She ain't no spring chicken. She look like she my age. Like she touching 40. It's either that or she had a hard life. But she still ain't no spring chicken. She above 30 years old, I tell you that much. So she should be able to tell that she should be able to know her position. Like whatever position you get hired for, don't expect a promotion. So if you get hired as his quote unquote piece of booty on the side, don't think you're going to get promoted to being a girlfriend. Whatever position you put in your application for is the position you're going to get hired for, and that's the position you're going to always play. Just saying.
We had it started out as friends. Started out as friends, became sexual, and we would meet up, hang out, and we decided I would come work for him like February of 2025.
So you said February 2025, you and he talked about you working for him?
Yes.
And that's as a private... How would you characterize your relationship?
You can tell no one's home. You can tell no one's home. This woman is empty-headed. She can't keep her story straight. She said, he slapped me. He slapped me on the right side of my face with his right hand. It's like, okay, so he must have smacked you on the right side of your face with his right hand. Because if you know, it's like her right would be his left mirror. Unless she was, well, no, it can't be that way, because if she had her back turned to him, I don't know how that's going to work out. But anyways, this lady got up on the stand, lied on this man, tried to manipulate the court to believe the lies that she was telling. Don't ever do this, because now this lady has ruined her reputation, ruined her career, made a fool of herself on a national standard, and now she is in this courtroom, or should I say on social media, dancing, laughing. It's like, girl, you can't live on this planet. You must not be from this planet. Like, where you from? You have no career now. Unless you're going to do OnlyFans. Like, that's the only thing that's left. Because, I mean, you done lied on this man, ruined a good opportunity, because I think the man was paying you $11,000 a month. Girl, that's terrific. Especially considering you just maybe cooking every now and again, because I don't think you cooking every day. I mean, this dude is, y'all getting booty and you cooking every now and again, and you got a place to stay. So, I don't know. But anyways, I think this was just bad all the way around. This was a bad move on her part, and she was entirely too old to pull this game. Like, girl, go sit down. Well, anyways, I'm gonna move on to my next story, because I can't stand a old dumb woman. Being dumb is a young woman's game. Being old and dumb is just embarrassing. I don't like it. My next story up is none other than the most infamous, fraudulent person on social media to date, and that's Stormy Wellington. Well, Stormy Wellington, as we all know, the FTC choked her, or should I say yoked her up with this lawsuit, saying if you make another income statement, if you get out here and trick one more person, if you get out here and start lying to the people again, you trick one more person, you scam one more person, we gonna get you. We're gonna get you bad. And that's what the FTC told her. So much so that she's basically on probation for 20 years. They got eyes on her for the next 20 years. They're going to be breathing down her neck for the next 20 years. This is what you get. This is what you get. First of all, I never believed Stormy Wellington. I don't like the fast-talking, slickster type woman. Even though, like, in real life, if Stormy was an honest person, she and I will probably be her personality is the type of personality I'm drawn to. Like that very aggressive, loyal yet cold personality. That's what I'm drawn to in friends. But I don't like frauds. And Stormy is a fraud. Stormy uses her ability to disconnect and connect at will to people for the wrong things. Now, I know that, how do I say it? Like morticians, maybe some doctors, I'm trying to think, HR people. Like these are people who need that at-will emotion to connect to people and then turn it off easy. Well, Stormy has that ability, which is why she's a good salesperson, because she can form a genuine connection with someone, but she can turn it off when the transaction is over with, so to speak. Well, Stormy, as we all know, was sued by the FTC. She's on probation 20 years. She did an interview with Carlos King where she talks about what they're doing to her. I have a few things I want to address about this because I've seen a lot of people in the comments make posts saying, well, white people have been doing this for years. And then there's other comments with, oh, they're just trying to hold on another black woman. And then there's the, they just hating, God got her. This is just the devil standing in her way. Those comments are the comments that I hate the most. No one is trying to hold black women back. If you break the law, that's not anybody holding you back. You're supposed to face sanctions when you break the law, even if you are sort of tightroping the law like Stormy is. You're supposed to face sanctions. And that whole thing of, well, white people have been doing this. Just because someone else does it doesn't make it right. And just because they aren't caught or you don't know of them being caught, it does not give you the right to do the same. I hate that mentality. If you ever have that mentality, don't come around me because I don't like it. If something's wrong, it's just wrong. It doesn't matter who does it, whether they're white, black, or in between. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and play the clip, and then I'm going to give my commentary afterwards.
You were making claims that you can make people millions.
No.
Making them money.
No. I never made a millionaire. If I could make millionaires, all my kids would be multimillionaires. I can't make anybody a millionaire. I could lead you. I can mentor you. I can show you. It's up to you to do the work. Have I helped people make millions? I wouldn't be here if I didn't do what I did.
But that's why the FTC cracked down on you because you were making claims.
And if I can't go substantiate the W-9s or the 1099s and the people and line them up with their names, or if I don't want to pay into that type of cost, I could have said, let's fight. Let me go produce all the people. Do I want to do that? First of all, nobody with wisdom should fight the FTC. especially if you know that there is some wrong in what you've done. If I would have known that I couldn't say the thing that I said as a truth of what I...
Stormy, you have always known that what you're doing is wrong. This isn't the first time that Stormy has gotten in trouble. Like, she's been caught up in fraud before. I'm pretty sure if you don't have an attorney, if she's making millions of dollars, she should have an attorney. And I'm pretty sure if she does have an attorney, that attorney has told her something. If not, then you should have one if you are making that type of money. Like, why are you in business putting things out to the public without any legal counsel? You could have saved yourself a lot of headache if you was. I'm just saying. And I don't think that Stormy cannot convince me today, tomorrow, or any subsequent day that she did not know that what she was doing was wrong. She can't.
I do and want to do and still going to do, I would have never spoken.
You were making claims that you can make people millions.
No.
Making them money.
No. I never made a millionaire. If I could make millionaires, I some of the things out of my mouth that I spoke.
What wrong did you make?
You cannot say the amount of money you're going to help people make. You cannot say the amount of people that you want to help make legally. Anybody could be in the position I'm in right now. I didn't think the way I presented it was illegal, right? But when I understood the paperwork, it's like, no, you cannot say, for example, you could have helped 20 people make $1 million. They can hate you not a day. Can you go produce the 1099, the person? If you can't do that, you better not say it. So really, it's best to stay away from anything as it pertains to money, because you never know when you and that person can fall out. If you cannot, again, if you read the paperwork, if I could substantiate, meaning if I'm going to say I helped her make $1 million, I better be.
Okay, so that's the stipulations that the FTC put on her. However, that is not why she got in trouble. She got in trouble not because she was making those claims, but because there were numerous people who were saying that what she was saying was false. That she made false claims to them, that she lied to them, that she defrauded them out of their time and money. This convolution that she keeps throwing into the equation, I can't stand it. Just tell it like it is. According to the FTC lawsuit, over 90% of the people that she so-called helped didn't make any money. Not a dime.
Be able to produce her 1099. I better be able to produce her. And then I got to submit it to them first before I even can make that claim. So now that I know that, I don't want to talk about money no more. I want to talk about who you got to become to get the money. Because talking about money is problems for me.
You did not have to pay the FTC.
Some of the things out of my mouth that I spoke.
What wrong did you make? Any money?
No fine. I had to pay my attorney, and I can no longer make an income claim and answer to them for 20 years. But they did not fine me anything.
You're on probation for 20 years.
Basically.
And under this 20-year probation, if they find...
No income claim, they got to know if I move. Again, check mark. Because if I was illegitimate, I would be in jail. If I was running a illegal Ponzi scheme pyramid business, I would...
No. If you were illegitimate, they would just impose fines on you. They will make you pay back some money if you taken any money from people. You will not be in jail just automatically. That's not true. Most people who defraud, like Stormy, don't go to jail. They just get sanctions imposed against them, like fines, citations, probation. That's what they get. The FTC is not watching you because you're innocent. They're watching you because you have done things that are wrong by your own admission. Like this, that's the thing. If you done something wrong, if you made false claims about income, if you made false advertisements, you did something illegal. And this isn't necessarily, it's criminal, but at the same time, it's more civil. And that's why she's not in jail. Because basically, the people didn't necessarily give Stormy the money. Stormy recruited the people, and Stormy was paid on behalf of she was paid by the company for recruiting the people. So that's the only reason why she isn't in jail. But if I know what I'm talking about. No one goes on probation because they're innocent. They watch you because you have done something wrong. This is what I'm talking about. That dishonesty. That always trying to trick people. Trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. Lord, I done hit my microphone. Trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. Like Stormy, baby, you frauded people out of their hard-earned money. You help do that. You help waste people's time. And if the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, if they thought you were innocent, they wouldn't watch you for 20 years. 20. If they're watching you for 20 years, that means that you did some crazy stuff. And that's a long time for somebody to watch you. Like, I don't think she grasped what she did, how serious it was, and how wrong she was. Like, just how much, I don't know, like, there's something. Stormy got a little character flaw in her. Like, she's another one of these women out here who can't, like, what they see and what's actually in reality is not the same. People don't go on probation because they're innocent. People go on probation because they're guilty. Probation is a sanction.
Will be in jail. So now that I'm even being watched, everything is going to be watched that I do. I'm on this 20-year, basically probation. It makes me have to move different. So yes, I have to submit any movement to them, any partnership, any business. People got to know that I'm in this FTC agreement.
You have to notify the FTC if you do any additional businesses.
Correct.
Or watching whatever you post on social media, whatever you claim.
I'm sure.
Do you have to notify them if you move out of the state in which you are
Everything I do.
Any money?
No fine. I had to pay.
When you on the brink of greatness, the enemy will try to steal, kill.
When you're on the brink of committing crimes, the FTC will pose sanctions against you, like 20 years of probation. Like, girl, give me a break. Well, anyways, guys, that's my video. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you in my next video, and I don't know when that's going to be. Bye.